You are listening to the Old Skool Movement podcast with Daz, Chris and Steve. You understand?
Yes, here for another episode of Old Skool Movements. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. Did you guys have a good Christmas?
Yeah, man.
Couldn't do much.
Right.
It was good. It was good for what we could do. We're stuck in. Couldn't do much, but yeah, we made the most of it.
Yeah, food is good.
Food, isn't it?
And now, Stax, that you're vegetarian, I guess you have leaves and stuff. What was your Christmas dinner, Stax?
I had a curry. I had a veg curry. Spectacular.
Did you make it yourself?
Yeah, man.
Yeah?
Curry, rice, macaroni, cheese, salad. Big.
Okay.
Big munch. You'd have loved it.
No, I
Bring
wouldn't.
some round, I still got it.
I wouldn't have loved it that much. You would have loved it that much.
You would have.
But
Instead of your dry turkey.
I don't have turkey. I don't have turkey.
I love turkey, man.
What did you had chicken?
Yeah. You would have loved it, Steph.
I had chicken and beef.
No, I wouldn't. I made chicken. The kids had chicken and that. But I didn't eat it. Yeah. I don't like chicken anymore, man.
So did you have your after eights as well?
No, I didn't have after. I got Ferrero's.
No
They
after
got
eights.
Yeah, Ferrero's got boxed off. Yeah.
If you had after eights, they'd still be sitting there.
Nah, I'd have finished them as well. I love after eights. After eights are big. I know D's got some.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come for them. I'm coming for these after eights.
There's people listening to us now who are clocking their after eights on the side thinking, you know what? They're still sitting there. Maybe we should start them now.
No, there's nothing wrong with after eights, man.
That's come round and get some, man. They're waiting for you, man.
I'm gonna come
unwrapped and ready, man.
Perfect. That's I can't believe you not done after eights, man.
I mean, unopened and ready. Sorry.
Yeah, man. Love after. I'm coming for
it's
them.
Not happening. Okay, so
I'll bring you some Murray mints in there. Exchange.
I had Murray mints since the 90s. You got Murray mints at home?
I had them since the 80s.
Moments.
Wow. Do you remember the advert for Moments?
I don't, you know.
Murray mints, too good to hurry mints. Do you remember that? You don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
You remember that, Chris?
Murray mint advert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the Murray mint advert.
You remember the song? Come on, man. You
couldn't hurry him.
Yeah.
You had no choice.
So look.
The only way to hold him was to spit him out.
You've had your Christmas dinner, right? You've opened your presents. You've had your Murray mints. You've had your after eights. You've had all your snacks. You've had your Ferrero Rochers. And you watch your Christmas TV. Now, radio times, TV times were massive those days.
Big. It's big as the Argos catalogue.
Yeah, but you don't need them now. They're just for old people. Old people buy it just to have that nostalgic thing.
People who don't use a TV guide that's on the TV, like if you've got Sky, people who ain't into that, they still get the BBC Radio Times and the TV Times.
Yeah, radio and TV times.
I'm surprised they're still going. Yeah, I'm surprised they're still going.
They're wasting printing money, really.
But literally, it's just for nostalgia.
It's just for nostalgia.
But as kids, as you say, Chris, like Argos catalogue,
you were ringing
before Christmas. You're circling Argos catalogue.
Exactly.
Over Christmas, you're circling your TV programs.
Yeah.
I'm watching that. I'm watching this. I'm watching this film.
Recording that one.
That one's on at the same time as that one, so I'm going to record that one. Oh, they got a special this one and that one. Oh, this one's coming out.
It's how you know, isn't it? They give you your heads up.
Yeah. So you had your Christmas movie, but you had all these other programs after Christmas. Your Boxing Day, the days that every day feels like bank holiday on Sunday day.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's just the weirdest days ever, but you got to deal with it. And what helps you cope with these days was television.
Yeah.
Was television you had in the 80s, man.
You always got that dead week between Christmas and the New Year. That week's just dead, isn't it? Nothing's happening, man.
Nothing's
exactly.
going on.
You rely on the
If you're not visiting family, then stuck at home.
So in between those times, today's podcast is about the movies we watched during the 80s at Christmas, the alternative movies, the alternative Christmas movies, and still watch. Some of you might question some of the movies that we're going to be talking about and saying, hey, they're not Christmas movies, but think a bit deeper, look a bit closer, feel the magic of all these films we're going to talk about, because they did involve Christmas.
Yeah. Like Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence.
Exactly. It wasn't even about Christmas.
It wasn't even about Christmas.
That was with David Bowie, right? All I remember was his head in the sand.
His head in the sand, and someone pissing on his head.
Yeah, all I remember, that was a torture. That was a torture move, isn't it?
A torture. Well, it was set over Christmas. That was his Christmas day. Him being buried in the sand and some.
What was he actually Mr. Lawrence?
I think he was, yeah. I'm not sure, man. I remember watching it, and I remember it used to be on quite a bit.
Was that even the front cover of the video?
Just his head in the sand. His head in the sand.
Like the main feature of the film is the front cover of the film.
The front cover.
What film has that? What film has the front cover as the main feature of the film?
Maybe they couldn't afford the whole of David Bowie. They could only afford his head. So they had to write it in that we've got to hide his body and only his head's allowed to show. So
that's a bit like the Just Eat ad for Snoop Dogg. Now they got
I
can't afford it.
I think that's because either one couldn't afford it, or he just said, "Look, I've done my bit. I just record my bit and let's get it in."
I got my money.
Yeah,
just let my voice down.
Afford it. That's what I.
Yeah. But it's weird how things are turned. It's weird how like rappers are just turning into like everyday celebrities for kids and stuff.
Yeah.
Like kids now are looking at Ice Cube being sergeant of police detective, police. They didn't know he said "fuck the police" in 1989.
Yeah.
I was so against the police force.
Exactly.
And now he's chief of police in movies. Snoop Dogg's just a comedian now.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
It's mad, isn't it, how the world's going?
But anyway, I digress.
Anyway, we do.
Alternative Christmas movies. So now, they're all 80s movies. We're going to take a little curve and go on a little 90s venture, but you'll know the 90s one we talk about.
The odd Home Alone. Home Alone's a massive Christmas movie, especially for kids nowadays.
I'm not a massive fan of that.
I wasn't. It came out in the 90s, didn't it?
It came out when I was raving and doing mad things.
Exactly that.
That wasn't my zone. If it wasn't violent, I weren't watching it. Yeah.
True. It's true.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? You wasn't watching anything kiddie in the 90s. It had to be violent.
It had to be violent or have Arnie
It's very true.
Stallone in it or something.
Yeah, even Arnie went kiddish with that Turbo Man film. That's Christmas. We ain't going to talk about that.
Yeah, we ain't going to talk about that. Jingle All the Way or whatever it was.
Jingle All the Way.
Nah.
They even put Sinbad in it. It's a bit worse.
We're talking about
Sinbad?
Arnie.
Yeah. Didn't he have a film out that he denies ever doing?
It's probably that.
There's another one that he done.
I think he was a genie or something. Was he a genie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He point blank denies doing it.
I heard something like that. I heard. That wasn't me. Another light-skinned dude. Right, Chris, what were you saying?
There was mentioning Rocky and Stallone there. One of my favourite Christmas films is the classic Rocky, packed with plenty of big moments. Death of Apollo, all them snow training montages.
Rocky 4.
The exploding fist.
That's a Christmas movie, right?
That's a Christmas movie.
That's a Christmas movie.
It's Rocky 4.
Hold on.
Rocky 4. That's one of my best Christmas movies.
Because he plans to fight him on Boxing Day.
No, on Christmas Day. The fight's on the 25th.
The fight's on Christmas.
The fight's on the 25th. That's on the 25th.
Wait a minute. So why isn't that in our list? Ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you something.
It's in my list.
I'm going to give you behind the scenes, right? we discussed what we was going to talk about on our podcast. And we said the top 10 Christmas films, right? And I selected 10. And Chris didn't mention Rocky 4. He's telling me now.
It's one of my favourite Christmas films.
He's telling me that it's his favourite Christmas movie, ladies and gentlemen. I had no idea.
Yeah,
Rocky 4 was in it.
The climatic
fight. Put it in now?
Well, I don't know. I was going to do it as, what else do you watch at Christmas? And Rocky 4.
Wow.
I just feel Christmassy when it's on. Even if I watch it mid-year, I feel Christmassy when it's on. And it's that the climatic fight with Drago. It takes place on Christmas Day. And if you remember, he does the big old speech at the end after he beats.
You could change. I could change.
He inspires Mikhail Gorbachev to stand up and applaud him for making a case for the ending of the Cold War while he's draped in an American flag. But if you remember, after that speech, I just want to say to my son, Merry Christmas. Yes. You can't get that more Christmassy.
You're right. But you know what I don't like about that? What I didn't like about, and that's probably why I didn't remember, is that his best friend got killed by Drago. And it's like he's put it under the mat. Yeah. It's like, your best friend got killed in the ring, and you're saying,
and now you're being all happy at the end. Yeah, you're being all happy at the end. Yeah, exactly.
You mate, I swear that timeline between Apollo died and him fighting was less than a year.
Yeah,
so he's already got over Apollo.
Yeah.
And let's be mates now. Come on. Then.
It wouldn't be like that, would it?
Nah,
It wouldn't be like that.
nah, not at all.
It wouldn't be like that. But I forgot that's a Christmas movie.
And another thing as well, Rocky IV is the highest grossing sports movie, or it was, and it held that title for 24 years before Sandra Bullock's The Blind Side. That overtook it. That's quite a little record to have, isn't it, man?
That's a
Highest
record to have,
grossing sports movie for 24 years. Rocky IV.
Wow. Rocky IV.
One of my favourite alternatives.
Did it come out over Christmas?
That I'm not sure about. I don't know. I've got a feeling maybe November time or something.
Cinema to see it.
Yeah. Rocky 3 and 4 were our cinema generation, weren't they? We sort of missed out on 1 and 2 because we were still little. But 3 and 4, I remember seeing them. Wow. I got a feeling maybe it was November time, but I think seeing the snow montage makes me think it's cold. Makes me feel like I saw it when it was cold.
Mate. So, that's your favourite Christmas movie to watch. Does that ever come on over Christmas, though? Does it come on over Christmas?
You don't see it much over Christmas, but I feel Christmassy if I see it in the summer. Same with The Shining. The Shining's another Christmas film that don't get mentioned much.
Is it Christmas?
He stays at that place.
Chris, what are you doing, man? We have research. Ladies and gentlemen, we spoke about what we're going to talk about, right? And
these are my bonus ones.
I was scrambling. I was scrambling to find movies, right? And Chris is coming out of them all now.
I was saving the bonus ones to the end, but we've started backwards.
No, well, you started with them.
Yeah, they're not bonus. They should be in the main mix.
They're in the main mix now. But yeah, I was thinking, weren't he staying in that big
Stax,
hotel for Christmas?
Stax?
Well,
I don't know. All I know.
And I'm an ad-libber. No.
I don't know about Christmas in The Shine. I didn't see no decorations. No. I didn't see no Christmas tree. I didn't see him say Happy Christmas. All I know is that the black man was the voice of Hong Kong Phooey. He got killed.
He was.
And I was fuming Hong Kong Phooey got killed by Jack Nicholson, man.
It's true.
But I didn't know that was Christmas. Was it?
I'm sure it was set over Christmas. I'm sure there was a Christmas tree like set in there. No, I don't know, because it's empty, innit? So maybe there weren't no Christmas decorations.
Don't surprise me now and tell me that the thing was set around Christmas.
I know.
You're not going to drop that on me, no?
I don't know. I'm thinking
it might be.
No.
So even though Rocky IV didn't come on over Christmas, that's your favourite Christmas movie.
Yeah. So I feel Christmas.
Even though it went on in your mind, you just watched it. Forget Sinbad. Rocky IV is in my mind.
Yeah. Because it's the big fight on Christmas Day.
You got a favourite one, Stax?
Yes, although not Christmassy. One of the James Bond.
Wait a minute. If it's not Christmassy,
no.
Because it came on.
Yes.
It's not Christmassy, so I'm going to say House Party 2.
Yeah. None of this is going to plan for you at all, is it?
No, it's not. I'm just going to give up.
You do get the odd films that are not Christmassy, but are classically shown over Christmas. And, you're right.
Moonraker.
Yeah, Moonraker. I get it.
Loved watching James Bond over Christmas.
It's on every year.
I get it. James Bond was on every year, and that's probably why I like Roger Moore, because that's the Bond I saw over Christmas.
It was always on growing up.
Like Roger Moore and Sid James were the most watched people I watched over Christmas. Film-wise. It was Carry On, and James Bond was just killing it all the time. And it's even happening now. Spectre was on the other day, and Carry On Marathon.
There's been 3 Bonds on this Christmas, but the thing is, Bond used to be Christmas Day, 5 o'clock viewing or whatever. Now it's slightly moved.
Premiere.
There's been 3 on over this holiday season, but it's been split up over the Christmas week. But I can watch A Spy Who Loved Me, Moonraker, Live and Let Die, View to a Kill. They're my classic Christmas Day memories. Roger Moore, like you say, Roger Moore. Christmas in the UK, it's a special time for James Bond. Since 1978, that was the first time that they put ITV put it on Christmas Day, smack bang in the middle of prime time.
Sorry, since 1970 when?
1978. December 25th, 1978, and it was 4 years after the actual release of Diamonds Are Forever, Sean Connery's Diamonds Are Forever. That was the first premiere showing in 1978, and then for years, could be 20, 30 years to come, they've shown Bond at Christmas.
As I said, Bond and Carry On will never stop at Christmas. No matter how
I actually watched a bit of Carry On this year as well.
Kids of the 80s know Bond for it's a Christmas movie, innit?
Yeah. Also, as you know, we said in previous podcasts, Digby, the world's greatest dog, used to be killing it.
I haven't seen that for a while. What's that now?
There's probably people that don't know what I'm talking about, or people are going, damn, I forgot all about that.
Digby, man eats dog food.
They were going, as I was saying earlier, it has to be a Harry Hansen film on, whether it's Clash of the Titans, whether it's Sinbad, whether it's some voyage with sandals on. Like they were always doing something with those Ray Harry Hansen films, man.
Always.
But for me, it probably is a Ray Harry Hansen film. That for me, that said Christmas. That said Christmas. That said Easter. That, like, because you saw special effects. You wouldn't see special effects on a normal Saturday in the 80s on TV. Special effects were left to Christmas. You know what I mean? But the best you're seeing is on a normal day is Doctor Who or something like that.
Yeah.
Like Christmas was the treat. It's like, we'll give you special effects. We'll give you a spaceship or something around Christmas. Any time of the year, it's not happening. So Stax, what about you? You say Stax. You said, what did you say?
I said
James Bond as well.
Yeah.
Moonraker.
All right, so we're going to do our top 10 80s alternative movies. We started at 10. We said our Sinbads and so on.
Rocky
At
Fours.
number 9, Rocky. I don't know why you didn't say it to me before. and then number 9, we've got our James Bonds. But which James Bond is it? If you could watch any James Bond on Christmas Day, which movie is that? For me, it's my favourite. It's Live and Let Die.
Yeah,
Steve, it's Moonraker for you, Steve.
It's either going to be Moonraker or is Live and Let Die the one? No, Dr. No as well.
Okay, so it's Live and Let Die. So there's Moonraker or Dr. No for you.
Yeah, those two are my favourite too.
Okay, Chris?
I like loads of different Bonds, but ones that make me feel like it's Christmas, I think it's The Spy Who Loved Me, with the ski chase scene and the parachuting scene at the beginning. It's either that or Live and Let Die.
Yeah. I think Live and Let Die is the greatest Bond film.
Yeah, you can watch that all year round though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I'm thinking something Christmassy. I want something with a bit of snow in it. So I went with
Fair enough. So that's interesting. You say snow because our number 8 is Christmas. It's not alternative. It's proper Christmassy. It's the one that everybody who lives in Great Britain knows this film. I don't know about the rest of the world knows this film, but
it's around the world.
It's around the world, is it?
Yeah.
Everyone loves it.
Dubbed into loads of languages.
Oh yes, it has. That's right. Everyone loves it. I wasn't a massive fan of it, but he was caught by the hype because he was walking in the air. Yeah, and that's the snowman.
That's the snowman.
Stax.
Yeah.
I know Stax didn't like the snowman.
No, I didn't.
I knew it. I just knew it.
Couldn't stand it, mate.
I've
never watched it fully.
But you weren't in the magic of a snowman coming to life with a scarf and a carrot nose and flying through the sky with a boy with striped pajamas. No, didn't work for you. But you know what? But do you know where it really worked? Do you know where it really worked? When Toys R Us done an advert for it.
That's when
the transition.
That's
worked.
when it worked. Yes.
Yeah. You understand.
Yes.
I wasn't a massive fan of it. Again, it came out in '82, and it a lot of people think, they remember it from the song. They think of Aled Jones. Aled Jones didn't sing the song. He didn't. No. He done the reboot.
He done the Toys R Us, didn't he?
I think that was for Toys R Us. I'm sure it was for an advert. And after you saying Toys R Us, I think it was for that advert. And that's when it sort of exploded more, which was probably about 4 years after. It must have been about 86, I'd say, because back in '82, I remember it coming out, and I wasn't a massive fan. But it was one of the things you watched. I think I watched it on Christmas Day or whenever it first appeared. And it's won BAFTAs. It's been up for Academy Awards. Yeah. It's a strange little.
What is great about it though is that there's no dialogue, there's no talking. You're just carried by music and emotion. I think that to hold someone's attention with no music, I think that's a great achievement. But that's the last time that was done was that Wall-E, that robot, that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really happen a lot. Where it's just music and emotion.
And you get it right though.
And to get that balance, I think that's kind of good. That's probably why Stax didn't like it. No one was talking through it.
No, it's just weak.
The guy who sung the original was a choir boy, guy called Peter Alty. He didn't even get credited for it until the 20th anniversary when they decided to.
He must be fuming that Aled Jones gets all the credit.
He gets all the credit for it.
And this guy's like, no, I sang it. The song you're hearing is me.
It's me. It's me all along. Yeah, no, it's not. It sounds slightly different now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
His deep voice.
You're walking in here.
I don't know if you remember though. Do you remember it had 3 different intros?
The song or
the cartoon? The whole thing. It had 3 different three different intros. Trying to think, the first one was a boy and a kid walking through the countryside, and he was introducing him to the story of the snowman. And they done one with David Bowie in it. David Bowie was playing the adult Jones. Yeah.
What?
I don't remember this one as well. This was the second one, so I think this is the one that come out around the late 80s, early 90s. And then it got
in the air.
It got redone with a third one with Mel Smith playing the voice and the character of Father Christmas. And it starts off with it at Father Christmas's party at the beginning, and then it flashes back. I don't really remember these as well. I don't remember these three different intros.
What I like Stax, I wasn't a massive fan of it, but what I like about it also is that I like that squiggly animation. That 2D squiggly, that crayon looking. You know what I'm talking about.
Pencil drawing look. That sort of pencil.
That rhubarb and custard pencil. 80s. You have to move like it to feel it.
Yeah. You got to sort of jig around with it.
You don't feel like it. Yeah, you got. That's how it looks.
I did like that. I did like that about it, and I like that didn't he melt at the end? I'm sure he melts at the end, didn't it? Which,
yeah.
And he had to sit in the ice box to chill out for a bit. He sat in the geese in the bloke's freezer, and it sat in the freezer. Do you remember as well? I don't know if you remember that the computer game company Quicksilver, they published a game of it in 1984, the Snowman the game, and it was out on the Spectrum.
On Spectrum, I can imagine Spectrum having it. Spectrum was so weak, they took anything.
They took anything in it. We'll have it. We'll have it.
It's a
bit
and
niche,
what makes it
we'll
worse
have
is
it.
the game was rubbish as well.
It's
just as bad as the film.
What did you have to do? Get him home before he melted?
You literally fly around.
The Stax, you played the game?
I think I have, yeah. That just doubled up on how much I didn't like either of them.
Wow.
You got it stacked away somewhere, man. It's packed away, and then
you know what? I might actually, if I dig around, I might be able to find it.
The Snowman game.
Snowman the game on the Spectrum.
I've got all my Spectrum games in a bag in storage.
Wait a minute. How could someone who doesn't like the program buy a game?
I didn't buy it. No.
Bootleg.
Yeah.
How do you even want to get involved?
I don't know. I just figured, go on then. We're copying a whole load of games. Go on, just chuck it in.
I might as well have it. I've only got to hit record on the cassette deck.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
Wow.
It's weak though.
Wow.
It's weak.
Wow.
I probably did drum and bass over it.
I saying that. Do you not remember the drum and bass version of "We're Walking in the Air"? Do you remember they had a drum and bass version of it?
Vaguely,
I'm sure there was a drum and bass version.
Yes,
People, if you know what I'm talking about, let me know. Send me a copy of it, because I remember there's a drum and bass version of "We're Walking in the Air."
The Christmas drum and bass version.
I'm sure. So we're walking in the air. What's the next line? We're walking in the air.
We're walking in the moonlit sky.
That's it. So we stop walking in the moonlit sky now, and our next movie. Again, these are like occasions as well. Whenever these guys brought movies out, it felt like an occasion. You got excited because you'd always see that scary big one involved in it. You'd always run down the street. You guarantee to see him in movies that they had. And it was a spectacle. They had so many guests in it, so many celebrity guests, like big
Cameos,
movie actors
special,
would come in. Like you could be a horror, like you could be Robert England or the guy that played Jason Voorhees, and you'd want to appear in one of these movies.
You'd be welcomed.
And I watched one just the other day. Christmas never fails to show me them. And that's the Muppets, man. The Muppets. And the particular one we're going to talk about today is the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah,
this sneaks into the 90s a bit, but every Christmas, every Christmas you got to have one of them big Charles Dickens classics. No matter what format it comes in, there's no better format than to have the Muppets do it, man. It was one of the biggest screen versions of his classic story, I think, that's ever been made, and it was.
That was Michael Caine.
Michael Caine as Scrooge, it was a wicked casting as Scrooge. I heard that he went all out to get that part as well. That he wanted to be on the Muppet Show back when everybody in the 80s was on the Muppets. But he was always busy. Yeah, he was, and he had nothing to do with children's characters, was he? He was an adult film actor.
But I'm saying serious actors.
All of these serious actors all would want to be on there, and something would always happen every time he wanted to be on it. He couldn't get on it. He was busy, whatever. And I remember reading that he got his agent to go out and say, if that film that they're thinking of making, I want to be in it. So that's how. Yeah, he got cast as Scrooge, and he plays it wicked, man.
So you say it's 90s.
92.
90 when?
92.
Who was Kermit again?
He was Bob Cratchit.
That's it.
Cratchit character, and it was the directorial debut for Brian Henson, And this was the first major
really?
Muppet project after the death of Jim Henson, and they dedicated this film to him. And
so Brian's his son, right?
Brian's his son, yeah. And one of the original puppeteers also passed away just before, a guy called Richard Hunt. So they made this film in the memory of Richard and Jim Henson. Richard Hunt used to play the character of Stadler, you know, the two old men. He operated and done the voice to him, and he was also the voice of Scooter, which I can't remember. I can't remember Scooter.
Like orangey, red
on the green baseball jacket.
Baseball jacket, glasses, little
orange dreads.
Yeah. He was sort of crossover in Sesame Street sometimes as well. I think he'd pop up in that.
I'm not sure. I know Kermit went Sesame Street, but I don't know if anyone else did.
Because Sesame Street characters did used to cross over into the Muppet movies.
I don't remember that, but because I just remember Scooter wearing his shiny green jacket, orange dreads. Yeah, and he was in the Muppet Show. Yeah, like I remember the two professor people ran around other people's shows.
Yeah,
booty.
The cook.
And Kermit, but they would. I don't really remember seeing.
That was the other thing with Christmas Carol, because it was the first one where they didn't use Sesame Street characters, and instead they replaced them with Fraggle Rock characters. If you look,
did they? Were they in it?
They're in it. Yeah, there's a couple of characters in it, and the dog. There's a main dog character, which is the dog. Yes, Sprocket's in it. Sprocket's the dog.
Oh wow, I didn't notice that.
No, I didn't notice it until I read it.
What I used to love about Muppet shows and Muppet movies is like the little rats.
Yeah,
you know that little rat character that would sing,
always at the bottom of the screen,
jacket. and coming in the songs,
they just be doing the whole thing,
and singing. Yeah, like rats and shrimps, and it's just weird little creatures just joining in the sing song.
It's true, you know.
Love that. Gonzo with his chickens.
Yeah,
you can see why it works so well with them sort of Star Wars scenes where you got the characters in the background that they're the bits you love, innit? It's the little characters in the background. Jim Henson's imagination, man. He's amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
Muppets
Muppet Christmas Carol was, as you say, Michael Caine, Kermit, and all the gang. Telling the story of Muppet Christmas Carol, and that big beast was in it. But this year I watched Muppets, but I watched the new Muppets Most Wanted.
I haven't seen that.
It's all right. There's a Russian frog that looks just like Kermit.
Yeah,
he's a bad man, criminal. And he's framed Kermit, and he's wicked, guys. Watch it. That's the Christmas fix this year. It's amazing. I recommend it. Muppets Most Wanted. Check it out. But no, Christmas Carol with Michael Caine. I get it. I get why the Muppets come every year to entertain kids. Generations.
They do it well.
Generational comedy.
They do it well. They take a classic story that's never going to go out of fashion and just put their Muppet twist on it, and it's good. It's a good watch. Even for adults now, it's still a good watch.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you watch Muppets as a kid, it's always going to stay in your heart. Like there's some things that go, like say the Snowman might not always be there with you, but Muppets, there's something you keep more with the Muppets than
Fozzie Bear, Gonzo, and the guys. They're always going to be there.
Love that. So that's our number 7, right?
That's our number 7. Yeah, number 7.
That's our number 7, man. So let's go to number 6.
Number 6 technically it's got fuck all to do with Christmas, but again, because the way it looks and the way it is, I just love it for a Christmas movie. And that's Planes, Trains and Automobiles.
Planes, Trains and Automobiles. Stax, have you seen that?
I have, probably only once a long time ago.
What?
I don't know. There's certain films that I don't revisit, and that's one of them.
Okay.
But I've got nothing against it at all.
I'm starring Steve Martin, John Candy, both great comedians.
Great
duo of the 80s. Classic comedians. But as Chris was saying, it's got F all to do with Christmas. It's more what's that day?
It's Thanksgiving for America.
It's Thanksgiving.
Right.
Because it's showing around the end of November or going into that season.
It feels period,
and it feels like there's that getting home for Christmas thing as well. I know he's getting home for Thanksgiving, but it's got that getting home for Christmas feel as well, and so it quite.
And that was around that was 1986.
87. It came out in the UK in 88 though, in February. It came out at Thanksgiving in 87 in the US, and then February 88.
Right. That makes sense.
We would have saw it early year.
Because around that time, like US was spurning out duo movies because you always had Spies Like Us and all the Eddie Murphy movies and all the Jing Wilder movies. So you had that, and Planes, Trains and Automobiles. It felt like it was a long time coming because, as you know, both John Candy and Steve Martin were doing loads of films in their own right, doing their thing, and then for them two to come together and do this movie, it was just
it works
good
well,
comedy.
It works well. Both characters are good. Originally they were thinking of using Tom Hanks and John Travolta were going to be the two characters.
Okay.
John Travolta was going to be the Dale Griffith character, and Tom Hanks and Neil Page.
But the funny thing is, people get twisted with Tom Hanks, like, consider him as a serious actor. Like, yeah, he's all good, but people forget Bachelor Party, big. In the 80s, he was comedy. We first saw him in Bachelor Party, and that was all out Porky's level movie.
Yeah. At our age, it was the saucy comedy.
It was that level.
So Planes, Trains and Automobiles, man. Imagine if the director John Hughes had just switched the one word Thanksgiving to Christmas. It would be a whole Christmas movie. But just having the word Thanksgiving, it's not a Christmas movie, but it's good to watch around the Christmas time.
Yeah, exactly, because it's in that winter environment.
Yeah, it's that snow look again, isn't it? Anything snowy on screen is going to make you feel like warm and cozy watching it.
So Planes, Trains and Automobiles. As you said, Chris, like, it's a Thanksgiving movie, but it's snowing it, so fuck it, it's Christmas.
It's got the vibe. It's got the Christmassy vibe for us, man. It works for us.
It's full of holidays.
It's full of holidays. Number 5, this is a proper Christmassy film. Come out in 1988. Stars Bill Murray. I think they tried to push this film off of his role in Ghostbusters. Yeah. He done so well in Ghostbusters. He took a little couple of years out between Ghostbusters and this film because of the overwhelming success he had. The response to Ghostbusters. He had to he felt so overwhelmed. He had to take a few years out. But he came back with this one. This was Scrooged, 1988. I don't know. It was different. Again, it's another Charles Dickens. It's the same story, isn't it?
Same
story again, but it works again.
But it's at an angle,
a different angle. Different. Angle.
But he was a TV producer.
Yeah. It's one of them ones. I remember watching it a good few times when it come out, but I could do with watching it again now. I can only remember bits like he was going to staple horns to mice or something to make them reindeers, and he just wasn't a nice movie producer.
He wasn't a nice guy.
An advertising producer or whatever he was. He wasn't that nice.
Yeah. And the whole thing is for him to turn into a better man through the visits
of these ghosts,
of the three ghosts,
presence and future. I remember one. I can't even remember bits. Like one was the cab driver, wasn't he? He's the most memorable ghost. The guy who played the cab driver. But I remember the guy out of Police Academy was in it. Do you remember? You know that dude?
Oh yeah, Bobcat.
Is that his name? But his name is Bobcat, isn't it? Yeah, Bobcat.
That's his name. Yeah.
He was in it as well. I can't remember if he was a ghost or if he was just his mate in it. But I remember him being in it as well.
He's now a director now, Bobcat.
Is he?
Been a director since the 80s. Directed lots of comedy and stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
he was good friends with Robin Williams.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Scrooged, right? Bill Murray. In at number 6, right?
I was in at number 5.
Is it number 5?
In at number 5, it was Scrooged.
Yep. Again, I saw that in the cinema. Because that was a time of that was a time of life when you were just going to cinema. Secret of My Success, Scrooged. You were just going to see anything. Last of the Mohicans.
Yeah,
I was going.
Whatever come out. You have your
I was going
trip.
in the cinema.
It was £1 in them days.
It was at £1.10, bag of popcorn, Westler's hot dog. You ain't going wrong. 7-Eleven around the corner.
It's true.
I'm going in there. Teen Wolf 2. I'm watching it all.
You're watching it all, yeah.
Yeah. So Scrooged with Bill Murray. You notice that, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't talk much about that. One, because Steve ain't got a clue.
No, I'm not big
myself.
on Christmas movies. I'm not big on Christmas. But Christmas movies, there's only a couple that I will,
Well, people like Scrooge made over 100 million worldwide when it first came out in 88.
People did like Scrooge. People did like Scrooge, mate. But this is the nitty gritty. These are the movies now. Now we're getting into the top 4. The top 4 Christmas movies, alternative ones. These are the movies now that Stax can get involved in. Stax can get excited about. Stax will know all of them. And if I don't hear any constructive talk on these films from Stax,
He's off the podcast.
We have to have a meeting about his residency on the podcast.
You're out of here, kid. Now, be the kid, you're bothering me.
Yeah. So now, is it number 5 right now?
We're at number 4 now. Number 5 was screwed. So in at top 4 now.
In at number 4, this movie here is a 90s movie again, right?
92.
92. And this movie was a sequel to a very successful 1989 movie.
I always thought this was the first at first. I forgot about the original.
Superhero movie that people were waiting for. Because remember, in the 80s, all you had was Superman. In the cinema, all you had was Superman. On TV, all you had was the Hulk. Marvel weren't doing nothing in the cinema. In the whole of the 80s.
You had reruns of the 60s Batman, reruns of the 1950 Superman, plus our own 1980 Superman. That's it. That's it.
So when
Spider-Man creeps in.
As a series,
as a TV series.
Not a cinema adventure. So when this first movie came in 1989, we were excited. I remember queuing up in the cinema. Yeah. Queues were long to see this movie. And the first one was okay. It introduced you again to who the dude was. But when this second one came out, it took it to a new level. This guy's not supposed to kill his enemies, but he didn't give a damn. This guy had the same car, but you saw new features on it. And Catwoman looked boom. We're talking about Batman Returns. Yeah. You might go to yourself, Batman Returns? What are you talking about?
Big Christmas film.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at this film again. So much, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the film, right, Batman says, he gets in the back of the car and says to Alfred, Merry Christmas, Alfred. What more do you want? Right? Alfred says, it's true. Goodwill to all men. And then Bruce Wayne answers, and women. Looks up into the sky, and the silhouette of Catwoman. Film ends. If you can't get any more Christmas than that,
you can't.
The film is based in snow. There's snow all over the film.
It's got to be Christmassy film.
There's Christmas trees. The penguin kills the Christmas ice queen in the film.
Yeah, they have like a Christmas parade or something, didn't they?
They have a Christmas parade. Yeah. The film begins with Batman just killing villains in Gotham City. Remember that bit? He does a RoboCop type move. Remember the bit where there's a villain and he's got Kyle, what her name is, Celine Kyle, whatever her name is, before she was Catwoman. He's got her by the neck. You remember this bit, Stax? Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna kill her. Batman looks at the wall, shoots his back grappling thing into the wall. The guy says you missed.
Yeah. He pulls the
wall, and the wall hits
him.
Yeah. Batman wasn't ramping in that film. Nah. Do you guys remember the bit when he had a bomb? A big fat man was punching up Batman, and Batman had a stick of dynamite in his hand. Batman punches the fat man. The fat man laughs. Batman looks down. The fat man looks down. The bomb's on the fat man. Batman walks away. The fat man blows up. Batman ain't giving a damn.
You weren't messing about.
That Batman.
It was Christmas, but he was killing.
Christmas or not, yeah.
That one is actually one of my it's probably my favourite Batman. That one and the first one, the one with the Joker.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. I think all that series of Batman films.
Just those two. Because the third one, when Mary comes into it, I'm not feeling it, and when Arnie turns up, I'm not feeling that either.
Just them two. Look, it's the magic of Tim Burton.
Thinking about that one made me forget about the Jack Nicholson one. That's how good that one is, man. I was thinking that was where it all started.
But Jack Nicholson all about the Joker one. Major.
Jack Nicholson was good, but this one had Danny DeVito. Yeah. People underestimate Danny DeVito's
He plays a penguin wicked.
The way he bit off the mayor's nose.
Yeah. But also, did you know that Burgess Meredith, who was the original Penguin,
they wanted him, innit?
He was going to play Oswald Cobblepot's dad.
Yeah, he was all set to be in it, He was
because he became ill, he couldn't take the part. But listen, this film was on an 80 million budget and made 282.8 million back.
That's big.
That's big. For me, look, it's a big Batman.
It is.
You know what I mean? Batman couldn't turn his head. When Batman has to turn his whole body to fight people, you know he's serious. You know, serious movie. It was like for me, it had everything you wanted, and Christmas was the backdrop to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So guys, watch it again. If you're confused that we're putting this in our Christmas movies, don't be, because it was set around Christmas.
It almost was different to how it was going to be. Christopher Walken was a late step in. The baddie in this episode was meant to be Harvey Dent and the Two-Face character, which was meant to be played by Billy D. Williams, but he pulled out literally at last minute. And they brought in Walken as the
because he was Two-Face. He was Two-Face in the first Batman.
In the first one, yeah.
Billy D. Williams, yeah. He was Harvey Dent.
Yeah, and it was the idea of that was going to flow into the second one, but something happened and he pulled out, and they ended up writing in the Christopher Walken character. Also, Marlon Wayans was also gonna be Robin in this one. Yeah, I don't think that would have worked, man. That would have been odd.
Yeah, Marlon Wayans and Will Smith.
I didn't hear about Will Smith.
Marlon Wayans was going to be Robin
in Batman Returns.
Yeah.
I think some last minute changes went on. I don't know if that would have worked. That would have been odd.
Yeah. So it was. It's a nutty one. But no, Batman, Michelle. I always loved Michelle Pfeiffer in the 80s. Like from being her being in Scarface.
Yeah.
And in Batman Returns,
And I think she was. I can't remember who the originals were, but she was a long way down the list.
There was a lot of actresses. There was a lot of actresses.
20, I think, actresses listed.
Listed.
She played it wicked. She suited it really good.
But it's the guy that played Alfred. He stayed on for all those Batman films, like through the Tim Burton ones, to the Joel Schumacher ones. He went all through them. Still,
and he works well, doesn't he? He works well as that character.
He's a proper butler looking.
Butler looking. Hasn't he been replaced with Michael Caine now? Is Michael Caine the butler for the?
Well, not replaced, but the new genre of Batman. The new genre of Batman films are using Michael Caine. And I think the new Batman. I can't remember who's.
It's the guy out of Twilight.
No. Who's playing Alfred?
I was thinking it was still going to be.
I think.
I was thinking it was still going to be Michael Caine.
No, that's a completely new Batman, isn't it? So they've changed.
Changed everything.
Changed everything.
I thought they would.
But no,
isn't it Dark Knight though? It's not even Batman anymore, is it?
Yeah. This is Batman again. It's called Batman.
Yeah, it's gone back to Batman. And what's good as well, I don't know if you've heard recently as well, that Michael Keaton, who's probably one of my favourite Batmans, because again, he was one of the first that we saw on the big screen. He's coming back in the TV Flash series. I don't know if I think they're TV series.
They are TV. But I also heard that. Did you guys ever see Batman of the Future or Batman Beyond?
Batman of the Future,
when it's Batman in the year 2000 and whatever, 70 or whatever.
Yeah. Was that an animated thing?
Animated film, but they're going to make a feature film of it, and apparently Michael Keaton will reprise his role in that film as Batman.
That could be good.
It's about an old Batman teaching
a new Batman.
And it's a really good cartoon. If you ever get it, guys, you know how good that was. And I've always been saying they should make a film of that. That was a really good cartoon.
Yeah, I remember you put me onto Batman of the Future, and I liked that a lot. Actually, that was really cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool, man. But back to Batman Returns. As you say, it had Christopher Walken. It had Danny DeVito. It had Michelle Pfeiffer.
Good lineup.
Proper
80s cast, even though it was 90s.
Yeah, proper. But isn't it funny for Michael Keaton how he started off as in the superhero world as Batman, and then he ended up being Spider-Man's arch villain,
enemy,
and then he turned into Birdman, and then he's coming back to Batman soon, and he might be Beetlejuice again. So
really,
Michael Keaton is one of those actors that you don't see a lot of, but when you see him, he puts in a good shift.
Yeah, he does.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's good. He's good in that new Spider-Man. I quite like that bird character, dude, isn't it? He's quite good.
Yeah, Vulture.
Yeah, I saw a bit of that last night, actually.
So that's why Batman Returns is in our
great Christmas film
movies. One more thing on that. Do you remember the scene when the Penguin said he wants to kill all the babies, all the newborn babies? He's in his little lair, and one of his henchmen says, "But don't you think that's a little?" He pulls out his gun, shoots him, then he goes, "No, it's a lot." Danny DeVito, amazing. So in at number 3, we at number 3?
Number 3, man. We're in the top 3 now.
In at number 3 now is this movie now, like Stax, you can get into this one. This guy, John Landis, he's a director. People don't really know his work. His works are so up and down. Like the guy done American Way for London. The guy done Michael Jackson's Thriller. The guy done Coming to America. The guy done Twilight Zone movie. But the movie we've done that we're going to talk about now is an amazing Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd combination. Originally, it was for Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor.
Yeah, they were the big hot stuff in Hollywood.
Yeah,
you could see how that.
But these two guys came in. And they worked amazingly, and that's Trading Places, ladies and gentlemen. From 1983, on a $15 million budget, they made 90.2 5.4 million in the box office.
That's big for the early 80s. This might have been the first time I saw Eddie in a film, you know, I think.
Yeah.
Mine was 48 Hours.
No, this was the first time I saw it.
This come out before 48 Hours, though, didn't it? Or did it?
Was it?
Yeah, I think this came out before. It came out the same year, but because when they were, like you were saying, the Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder thing, I think it's Paramount who made it. They were really worried about using Murphy because they'd seen 48 Hours and his role in that. They were like, we don't think he's going to suit this. Eddie Murphy.
Who?
Paramount Pictures were worried about using him. No, they were the ones that suggested to use him, but the studio who were making it were worried because they'd already seen the unreleased 48 Hours, which was due out after Trading Places later in that same year. So I can't remember.
You just said Trading Places came out before, but how could they have seen 48 Hours?
It was an unreleased version that they saw because they're the studio. They had seen what his work was like. They must have asked, okay, we want to see what he's like. They got shown 48 Hours and they weren't keen on him. They were like, no, he's not going to work. We don't want to use him. But Paramount put everything they had behind this new talent, which was Eddie Murphy. And I think at the time he was only known for a bit of stand-up. On Saturday Night Live,
because it was originally going to be Eddie Murphy and Gene Wilder, but Eddie Murphy wanted to distance himself from being the new Richard Pryor.
Right.
So he was said, can you try and get rid of Gene Wilder and get someone else?
Yeah.
And because of the Saturday Night Live connection, that's when Dan Aykroyd came in to play. What's his name again? Lewis Winthorpe.
Winthorpe the third. Lewis Winthorpe the third. Billy Ray.
And Eddie Murphy was Billy Ray Valentine.
I heard Pryor had an accident though. I think he was getting heavy.
He burnt himself by doing crack.
He
set himself on fire. That's why he did it happen.
From sucking on a crack pipe or something.
Yeah.
Man.
And then he couldn't do it. So they had to move on. And
some of his best material was off that though.
It's also 48 Hours was down for Richard Pryor as well.
Really?
Yeah, he was going to be whatever the character was in 48 Hours as well. So, having that accident really opened the door to Eddie
Reggie Hammond.
That was it, Reggie, yeah. That really opened the door to Eddie Murphy getting his foot in that Hollywood door.
Because I heard them two didn't really get on much.
I heard that same.
Richard Pryor.
Yeah,
Richard Pryor was very defensive, like this new cat's coming into town, trying to step on my toes, that thing.
And by this stage, he's towards the end of not the end of his career, but he's older than Murphy.
Murphy's a teenage guy.
He's fresh, he's young, he's hungry for it. But then, Pryor has to realise that if it wasn't for him, none of these people would be doing. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone basically follows Pryor because that's the benchmark for great company.
That's the best. Yeah, that's right. And they all know that. Eddie Murphy knew that.
Of course they do.
But he wanted to bring out his own spin on things,
which is understandable.
Exactly. Also, not forgetting the gorgeous in this film, Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis. It's the equivalent, but in other films, I'm not really feeling that.
No, only True Light.
This one.
Yeah, True Light. Yeah, but in this one, it's the equivalent of seeing Sigourney Weaver in Ghostbusters. in Alien, she's butters.
Yeah, I know.
But in Ghostbusters, I'm feeling Sigourney Weaver. See an alien, it's a completely different woman.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I see Jamie Lee Curtis, man.
Ophelia, the prostitute.
Ophelia, mate.
Yeah, she was big in this film. She was good.
Mate. He was massive in this film.
If you're talking about the characters, you can't forget old Don Amici and Ralph Bellamy as Randolph and Mortimer.
Yeah, Randolph.
Two brothers.
You can't forget them. And but Eddie Murphy sorted them out in Coming to America. He made them rich again.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, they were bums on the street.
Prince Akeem gave him a load of money.
That's wicked how they done that. I forgot about that little throwback in it.
Because John Landis is director.
Yeah, John Landis again.
So you joined the two together.
That's wicked. That's wicked.
Put it in there again. But yeah, Trading Places being a Christmas movie, it's more to the end because it's about the stock exchange and a lot. And at the end of the year, that happens. So that's why it was around Christmas.
Yeah.
People thinking, oh, why are you saying it's Christmas? The more prominent bit of that film is when Dan Aykroyd's character
dresses up as
Father Christmas,
with the gun
and he's got the salmon under his beard.
He's eating it for his beard.
Yeah.
I used to hate watching that bit.
Yeah. So did I. I was like, how would you eat beard and salmon?
Like, it ain't even real beard. It's like plastic beard.
Yeah.
You're sitting on the bus.
Probably didn't even look like it was cooked.
Yeah, that bit used to freak me out. But what if you ever watch that bit again, right? When he's taking stuff off the table, right? When he takes that salmon, there's a black man next to him, and the black man looks like, what the fuck did that just happen? Please, everybody, watch that bit again. You'll be in stitches. just for that bit. Dan Aykroyd's character eats loads of food, puts it under his outfit, and look at that man's face that's next to him.
Disgusted.
Disgusted. That's the word. This man's disgusted. And what he just thought, was that Father Christmas? He stole the whole fucking salmon.
I also read that Frank Oz plays a cameo in it as a police officer, but I've never noticed it. I want to look for it again.
He does.
I'll look for it again.
Frank Oz comes up in a lot of John Landis films. In American Run for London, the Muppet scene, with the German zombies. He's about. Also, John Landis also directed the worst film that you guys know that I hate this film, Beverly Hills Cop 3. That's that was a horrible film, right?
It's the worst
but
one.
Think about it.
I had to whisper
Yeah. So I don't want to shout, but so you can see Eddie Murphy and John Landis had a relationship there, a good working relationship. But the thing is, John Landis asked Eddie Murphy to testify for him in court because John Landis was on a manslaughter charge for when he made Twilight Zone, 2 kids were killed.
I think I remember hearing that.
Do you remember the racist guy and he hated Jews and blacks, but he ended up in concentration camp? He got chased by a coup. I know that story in the Twilight.
In the Twilight Zone.
And he hated Vietnamese people, and he ended up in Vietnam War. In that scene, the helicopter decapitated 2 kids.
Yeah, I remember reading that. Yeah.
And so he was up for manslaughter charge, and Eddie Murphy didn't want to testify for him. And his reasons being is, one, why are kids filming so late? Kids, in television, kids aren't allowed to film after a certain time. But Eddie Murphy's like, why are kids filming so late at night around dangerous stuff? You're the director. That's all your control. Yeah. So I'm not going to defend something that could possibly be wrong. Do you know what I mean? So that's morally, that's right. Do you know what I mean? Even though it's your mate, morally, 2 kids have had their heads chopped off.
Yeah, it could have been avoided if you stuck to regulations.
If you stuck to regulations, So yeah.
Wow.
I don't know how a relationship is now, but yeah, that's pretty thick. And did you guys also notice in Trading Places, when Eddie Murphy's in prison, one of the cellmates is, what's his name? The guy who plays Moff Gideon in Mandalorian.
Oh yeah.
Spanishy sort of name, and I can't think of his name now.
He's one of the cellmates in Trading Places. So that's one of his first acting gigs.
Because he must have been young in that, man.
Yeah. But mate, Trading Places, just to see that black man's face when Windforce takes the salmon. Just to see Jamie Lee Curtis's boobs, just to see her in that Swedish outfit, and a boy.
I forgot about the African and the Swedish bit at the end on the train.
See that, and the thing that puzzles me about this film is that, which is kind of, I don't know, but no one ever berates Dan Aykroyd for dressing up as a black Rasta.
He blacks up, doesn't he?
He proper blacked up. He had dreads. Yeah. He got a spliff. Yeah. He was so stereotypical.
Oh my God.
And no one says anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like that bit.
Yeah. So but no, the whole film was wicked.
The whole introduction when you first meet Billy Ray, though. Is it Billy Ray?
Billy Ray.
That first bit when he's the tramp in the park. I got no legs, and that bit is that is comedy genius, man. That
comedy genius.
Comedy gold.
And you can feel that a lot of these films in the 80s, especially the Eddie Murphy, and a lot of it was improvisation. You can see
ad-libbing, you can see it.
Yeah, ad-libbing. You can see the class of the comedians in these films. And I think Eddie Murphy,
it makes it.
Well, look,
but he used to do that all the time, though, didn't he? Like Eddie Murphy, you feel that
because after Trading Places, Dan Aykroyd wanted Eddie Murphy to be in Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters was going to be Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, but Eddie Murphy got a bit too Beverly Hills Cop and hyped up. He wanted to carry him. He didn't want to be part of a group. He wanted to carry him being the main man. So that's why they got Bill Murray, and that's why Winston Zedmore's in it. But they wanted a black man with a moustache, so they just threw him in there for that balance. But Eddie Murphy was that was Dan Aykroyd's first choice. That was Dan Aykroyd's first choice, Eddie Murphy,
because of the
relationship they had. from
I don't know if that would have been too much of a comical film. I'm thinking now.
And I think Eddie Murphy made the right choice.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, definitely.
He probably made Golden Child at that time. So maybe I don't know if that was the right choice.
As long as it weren't that one with what's his name, Arthur, the geezer who played Arthur.
Oh, exactly. Or Best Defense.
Defense. Yeah.
Like if he turned down Ghostbusters for Best Defense, man. He needs to be spoken to.
He done the wrong.
Yeah, he needs to be spoken to. But look, the Santa bit, eating salmon with a beard, is the Christmas bit. Yeah. Him trying to commit suicide and not working, and then throwing a gun on the floor and it fires. Comedy gold. Trading Places, you're our Christmas movie.
Number 3.
All right, so in at number two. But before we get to number 2, there's another Christmas movie on the same vibe as this movie. And at the end of this movie that I'm going to mention, remember, this is just jumped in. They become friends, and the guy invites the other guy over with his family to have Christmas dinner. So that's Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And that's Lethal Weapon 1.
When the weather outside.
And
that's how it starts, doesn't it? It starts straight into Christmas.
Yeah. So that was the build up to Christmas. After all what they've done, just killing people, shooting people.
Him back.
Invites him back for Christmas dinner.
Ain't never a shootout in a Christmas tree like place you go to buy Christmas trees. There's like a Christmas tree farm.
Yeah,
you have a little shootout in the Christmas tree farm place. I'm sure there is. Really? But yeah, right. Yeah, it's a big Christmas film.
Big Christmas.
It's got a nice ending. It has got a nice ending. Is it Murtaugh invites Riggs back, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because Riggs has got his caravan and his dog, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. He takes him back for a proper family turkey roast.
Yeah.
That's a good ending.
And then he says, "Can I bring my friend?" The dog comes and mashes up the house. When you hear the dog running around the house and mashing up stuff, so he fucked up Christmas. The dog did. I think that was the real Lethal Weapon. He fucked everyone's day up. But yeah, so sneakily in wherever number that is, because this is not in order of our favorites. We're the same movies. Let's throw Lethal Weapon in there.
Lethal Weapon
1987. 15 million budget and made 120.2 million back. So it smashed it, and then it had successful sequels. And you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if they're going to make another one.
I think they are. I think I've heard they are.
They probably would. I mean, they remade everything else. Why wouldn't they do this?
Yeah.
If you're going to do a Bad Boys 3 or whatever it was, I'm sure Lethal Weapon's coming back.
There you go.
Even though they're 60 years old.
He ain't too old for this shit yet.
Yeah. Even though, I don't know how lethal the weapon will be now.
Yeah. He was in the latest Jumanji, and he looked pretty old.
Yeah, he is getting on a bit. I
don't think
how lethal they're going to be now, man.
I don't know how lethal they're going to be.
Lethal pension.
But listen, but listen, if you're a lethal pensioner and like back in the days you was doing your thing, you was in the 80s they were like they either had a dead wife or they're womanizers. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So and in this next movie, this guy was in a building at the same time as his ex-wife. He just happened to save the day again. It's another Christmas movie. It's Bruce Willis's first action role, and he set the bar for that kind of movie. Because after that, you're Under Siege, whatever, where one man takes care of the whole terrorist thing. And in 1988, Bruce Willis smashed it. Originally, it was called Nothing Lasts Forever. It's a book. It's a book written in 1979 by novelist Roderick Thorpe. Nothing Lasts Forever, about some terrorists in a building around Christmas. Made it into a film, and there you have Die Hard. All on Christmas Eve.
All happens on Christmas Eve.
All in one day. All happened one night.
All in one night.
And the amount of people he killed in one night, and it's Christmas. That's the thing about the 80s. You could kill a load of people gruesomely. I mean, at the end, you've got that sheet around you that the ambulance give you, and you hug your missus, and you're covered in other people's blood and glass, and you're just lipsing up your wife.
You go home and have a good evening.
Yeah, all the police cars are going past you. No one's checking you or stop. You've killed the most people ever, and you're just chilling. But guys. So
Die Hard, didn't it, man? It ticks all the boxes. It's got plenty of Christmas music in it. I'm sure it's got like Winter Wonderland, Let It Snow, Jingle Bells, and of course Run DMC's Christmas in Hollis on there.
Yeah.
And it's like a biblical story itself. He's a weary traveller who's travelled all the way across America to go and see his ex-wife at this party. He's bought him gifts. You know what ain't Christmassy about this film, man? It's a classic film.
He even sent what's his name? Hans. What's the main?
Hans, Gruber.
He even sent Hans his dead mate
as a ho ho ho,
saying ho 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 the Christmas hat. That's how considerate he was. He sent someone he just killed to their mate.
Give him as a present
and made jokes about it and still rise off in the sunset at the end. That's American 80s movies, man. Damn.
Like you say, it set the bar, man. It was wicked when it came out. It was plenty of action.
You know, and as I said before, any of you guys thinking these guys ain't talking about Christmas movies, they are. There's presents, there's gifts, there's snow, there's tinsel.
Everything's in that one.
Everything's in that one, man. Die Hard.
Planes, Trains and Automobiles is only the only dubious one at the moment.
Yeah, but still, Die Hard. Is it only the first Die Hard? That's the only film I like.
Yeah, I think Die Hard 2. I know that's snowy again. It's crap. It's set in an airport. It's a load of rubbish. But I've got a feeling that might be him getting home for Christmas. I've got a feeling that's got a Christmas story to it, but no one knows it because no one watches it. It's that rubbish.
Yeah. When I saw that bit, you know that bit when the plane's going to blow up and he presses the ejector seat? And he goes extra out.
He goes flying up to the camera.
Oh, what kind of stupidness is this, man? Mate, that film was weak, man. But no, Die Hard. And again, all these films we're talking about didn't come out over Christmas.
Nah, Die Hard.
Lethal Weapon come out in March.
Die Hard was February.
July.
It was July in the US, February in the UK.
Yeah, but they're still Christmas movies. Anyway, another thing, have you noticed, right? Or am I just thinking this? Have you noticed in sci-fi films, I know I'm going off a minute, but in sci-fi films, it's never anybody's birthday.
I've never noticed it, but I think you're right.
You think
sure there might be one in Aliens? Isn't there one in Aliens?
No. Whose birthday is in Aliens?
I've got a feeling I've seen someone with a birthday cake somewhere in space. I don't know if it's Aliens or thing. Or...
I've never seen a sci-fi film when it's someone's birthday. If you can find one, please let me know.
Yeah,
let me know. Yeah. So listen.
This next one's a sci-fi film.
Our final movie. Our final movie. We've mentioned this before, but we're going to throw it in because it's a Christmas movie, and I think it's the ultimate Christmas movie because, like the others, yes, there's tinsel, there's trees. This film is based on the Christmas present the boy got.
Someone receiving a present. Yeah.
How Christmassy can you get in Gremlins?
From the first scene, the whole town's wrapped up for Christmas, doesn't it? That first scene.
Yeah.
I think it's the Back to the Future town as well, isn't it?
It's the same town they're using Back to the
same town.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done up. You know, there's lights, decor everywhere. You see
the same one they used in Big Trouble in Little China as well, is it?
I'm not sure about Big Trouble.
Before he walks into the shop, I get a Big Trouble in Little China feeling.
Okay.
Before he walks into the shop, where he goes when the kid's showing him down.
I know what you mean.
I saw it last night, so it's actually quite fresh in the mind. Big film, though.
I remember there's Christmas. there's carol singers at the start. There's The Wonderful Life. You know, that's one of the biggest Christmas films, and I've never seen it, and it looks rubbish.
Well, the Gremlins do carol singing.
Carol singing.
Yeah,
exactly.
They end up doing it themselves. I was going to get to that.
And what I love about Gremlins is that people got to understand.
It's meant to be a horror.
All these films are just movies, so don't look into it too much and think, how comes that wouldn't work? It wouldn't work in real life because it's a movie. Yeah. That's the whole point. It's theatre, it's acting, it's entertainment. So when you see Gremlins, 1 minute, like, you know, they're running around naked. Next minute, they got garms on. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink why the Gremlins got hymn books their size, hats and scarves their size. Yeah. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink why Gremlins got shades and in bar and smoking and break
guns.
Don't overthink it. It's comedy.
With leg warmers on.
It's a movie. That's how movies. That's movies. Even if it wasn't like a sci-fi movie, any movie you watch, it's all made for that. For that stuff.
Entertainment. Man.
It's all entertainment, guys. Take it in like that. So
Gremlins is brilliant. I sat and watched that last night, and I was satisfied.
It's a good film. It's still good now. I ended up downloading 2 because I couldn't really remember 2 too much.
That's exactly what I've done as well.
I'm going to watch 2. Yeah, I'm going to watch that tonight if I can. But you know, the term Gremlins was actually come from Roald Dahl. Or looking back at it, they're saying the first time you sort of saw Gremlins was in a book in 1943, published by Roald Dahl, one of his early works as well. And it was based on these little mischievous creature monster things.
Yeah.
And then the RAF picked up during the war. They picked up the term gremlin for anything that bad that went happen to their aircraft. They'd say it's them gremlins again, isn't it? It's the
because that's what
gremlins.
The old dude was saying. The farmer dude, he kept saying,
it's
those farmers, they put gremlins in the machines. That's why they don't work no more.
Yeah, and that's how the RAF picked up on it during the war. Anything that went wrong with them, they'd say it's them gremlins. But this was all taken from the book. And back in them early days, Walt Disney picked up on it, and they were meant to make a Gremlins film back in, this would have been probably the 60s maybe, or even the 50s. Them really early days, but it never come to light. And then Joe Dante picked up the book one day, and it gave him the idea. And he in an interview he said that it had that Roald Dahl book had a major influence on him making the film Gremlins.
So who done the puppetry on that then?
Not sure. I don't think it was like Henson's lot.
It may have been like it may have been like Rick Baker, the guy that done like The Thing, America Went from London. All that.
It was good though. Yeah. If you think about now, Gizmo and Grogu, they're on that same sort of thing, aren't they? And you know, it shows you that Gizmo was. It was good for them days, for the early 80s or 84.
Yeah,
he looked wicked. He looked wicked.
1984.
1984, wasn't it?
11 million budget and 212.9 million gross, man. So,
I can't remember I think that must have been something we saw on video.
It was. I remember it come out the same weekend as Ghostbusters. And I remember Gremlins being 15 and Ghostbusters being PG. So it was Ghostbusters to see, and Gremlin when it came out on Warner Brothers Video. Stax, what were you going to say?
In Gremlins 2, Chris, watch how Mogwai runs when he gets out of the shop. Look at his feet. It's hilarious.
I think I remember that bit you said. I will watch it. I'm gonna have a look at that tonight.
Gremlins 2. I wasn't a fan of that film.
It wasn't as good.
I can't remember it.
That's why I couldn't. I need to see the story.
It let me down. But
it also reminded me a little bit of Critters in terms of the puppetry. So I don't know if it's the same kind of people that done that.
Yeah.
But they all sort of span off after Gremlins come out. You had loads of these little critters.
Gremlins was the diehard of those types of films. Once you saw little creatures running around, Hollywood just went nuts and tried to find every creature to run around as well.
Critters, Ghoulies.
Yeah, but no, Gremlins is all about Christmas. Gremlins even killed Father Christmas. Remember they killed?
Yes, they did. Yeah, they were all over.
The police got scared. The police.
I just wound the window up.
I've noticed as well.
I drove off.
I don't know if it's just this year or whatnot, but I've noticed more Gremlin toys about and more Gremlin memorabilia. The other day I was in one of them Mankind shops, and they got little gizmos and a stripe. It's like, wow,
I bought my niece one for
Christmas.
I bought a cuddly toy.
Yeah,
man.
I got a feeling there's a reboot on the cards. Or
there is. I've heard Netflix are making a series. I think it's a cartoon series though. I think. Yeah.
Did they do cartoon series before? Back in the day.
I feel like I have seen a cartoon of Gremlins, but I've got a feeling there was a Gizmo one or something. Not so much the Gremlins, but more just Gizmo.
It wasn't very good.
Adventures, it wasn't very good. I'm sure there was though.
But there's so many rules to have a Gremlin, man. It's just it just doesn't work.
Too hard to keep on.
There's only two main rules really.
Yeah, if
don't get it wet and don't feed it.
Water and don't feed it.
But that's hard. That's hard not to get it wet. What if it rolls in shit? What are you doing?
Leave it in it, mate.
It rolls in shit.
You got
another 12 of them in your yard. Allow it.
You're walking down the street and it starts raining, and you're bopping with it.
Leave them alone.
It's a hard pet to have.
You can't turn on the light. You got to remember you can't feed it past 12 o'clock. That's too much.
Wait, I forgot about bright light.
That's just too much for me to look after, man. I wouldn't have never taken that to after. But look, Gremlins was an amazing gift for what was the boy's Billy. And it caused so much havoc. And
it messed up his town.
That's our last Christmas movie, alternative movie to watch. Like as we were saying at the top of this podcast, it's kind of movie you watch before or after Christmas or any time of the year. All these films that we just said, you don't watch them at Christmas. You can watch them any time of the year. But just remember, they're all based on Christmas.
Or they make us feel Christmas.
Yeah, I've never sat down and said, I want to watch a Christmas film, so then watch Die Hard. But you can't help that it is based around Christmas.
true.
Do you know what I mean? Because the thing is, why didn't any of these films come out in December?
Yeah.
But hey,
that's it.
But there still are alternative old school movies. So yeah, that's another podcast from us, guys. We'll see you guys next year.
The new year now.
Brand new year, 2021 Old School Movements edition. Yeah. So guys, I really hope that you had a good break. See you on the other side, guys. Mr. Lucas.
Chris.
I'm Stax.
And for the last time this year, we say peace. Later.
Peace.